Welcome back to CEO Central. Well, it's been an amazing start to the year 2012. It was very quiet over the Christmas break. All of the bureaucrats and politicians went home, obviously attending functions and barbecues and hearing about what people really think out there in the suburbs and towns. And then things really gathered pace in late January. The 21st will be a red letter day. We'll look back on it, I think, with some fondness, but also with regret that we had to battle mandatory pre-commitment so hard for so long. On that day, the Prime Minister and Jenny Macklin stood up and said that they would not deliver on Andrew Wilkie's agreement. He would not see mandatory pre-commitment as he wished. Remember that, he wanted it starting in 2012. All wrapped up by 2014, which was always crazy and we always knew was going to be extremely difficult to deliver. So what did the Prime Minister announce? Well, she said that instead of mandatory pre-commitment, we would have a trial, a proper trial in the ACT. Now this is yet to be agreed to. The ACT clubs will consider an offer that's been put to them on the 16th of February and they will decide whether or not they will participate in this trial. We support a trial. We've been calling for it for about a year. We think that it's the right thing to do if it is going to be one capable of measuring the full impact of mandatory pre-commitment. So let's see. We'll be encouraging the ACT clubs to put their hand up for it. Clearly there are lots of issues involved with that, the level of compensation, the kind of technology that will be used, what's going to happen with clubs and hotels across the border in Queanbeyan, and all of these things need to be properly thrashed out. We'll know a whole lot more after the 16th of February. The Prime Minister announced some other measures. All poker machines manufactured from 2013 are to have pre-commitment functionality built in. All poker machines in Australia that are operating are to have that functionality by 2016, the end of that year. There are also support of counselling, measures to properly regulate online gambling, and the introduction of dynamic messaging. All of these things together as a package. Now, one thing that we are particularly worried about is the $250 daily withdrawal limit from ATMs that the Prime Minister announced. That, along with the 2016 timetable for voluntary pre-commitment, are things that have the potential to create difficulties for clubs. We're currently working through those issues with the government, but overall the Prime Minister's announcement is a huge step in the right direction, as opposed to the immediate introduction of mandatory pre-commitment, which we know would have killed us. We're expecting legislation to be introduced into the House in March and to be passed perhaps by the end of May, but time will tell whether that timetable is actually achievable. So we're working with the government on these things, focusing particularly on the ATM limit and also the 2016 date for the introduction of voluntary pre-commitment. So where does that leave our campaign against mandatory pre-commitment? Well, first of all, can I thank everybody who has put up a poster, put out a coaster, erected a banner, gone to a rally, spoken to an MP, written a letter to the editor. We have run an incredibly comprehensive, widespread and effective campaign against this mad technology mandatory pre-commitment. We've still got a couple of things to work through and there will be a note come out to clubs in the coming weeks advising what should be done as far as the campaign materials go, but we've still got a couple of things to work through with government before that happens. Let's hope we never have to run another campaign like it. Now, we know that it was bad policy. It was there purely because of a deal, a political deal, and it set the industry back 18 months. But we're almost there. We've done a great job. Still a little bit more work to do, but I'll be back in touch with you soon to tell you where this is all going. The next challenge for us will be to reposition the industry. Obviously, we've copped a lot of flack over the last 18 months. We need to work hard to make sure that clubs are again seen as friendly, family venues where people can go and enjoy each other's company. We are not as Nick Xenophon and others would have us pokey dens. We're not that, we're a lot more. So that work's going to start almost immediately. Thanks for your support. I look forward to your company next time on CEO Central.